The next person who is going to tell his story is someone who you all will thoroughly enjoy. But before he begins, I just want you to remember these points. You are the best person to tell your story. And the reason is it's yours. I want you all, as Rigo is speaking, to think about your story because you're going to have an opportunity to tell your story as well. In about 2 minutes, there is no right or wrong answer because it is your story. And you don't have to mention anything about legislative talking points because those will be provided later. I want you all to just think about your story specifically. Okay? And I'll circle back after Rigo wraps up. Rigo, the floor is yours.
Hi, thank you very much. Hello, Ms. Rigo Manzo. Um, how are you today?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Great. I'm here to talk to you about my experience with having severe hemophilia A. Are you familiar with hemophilia?
No.
Okay, well, it's a genetic bleeding disorder that prevents my blood from clotting properly if I get any bruises, cuts, or swelling in my joints. I can also get spontaneous bleeds if I don't follow my treatment regimen. The medicine I take supplements for the missing healing proteins in my body. I was diagnosed at the age of 3, but before that, I was going through a lot of pain as a baby. I had a lot of bleeds and bruises, and my mom didn't know how to help me. She was worried and sad when I would cry from the pain and when she saw my bruising. My worst bleed occurred when my left elbow became so swollen that I've lost extension and I cannot completely straighten it to this day. My mom took me to different doctors trying to figure out what was wrong with me. It was especially challenging because my mom is from Mexico and she couldn't speak or understand English very well. My older sister had to be the family's interpreter, and she was a teenager at the time. That was around 89. So you can only imagine what she was going through. Uh, finally, my, finally, my mom found a doctor that referred us to Children's Hospital in LA. There, I was diagnosed and was put on the proper treatment. Had I taken something factor, that I've been using for the rest of my life, my elbow may not have lost its extension from that early bleed. Ever since then, I have been plugged into a generous community of doctors, nurses, advocates, and fellow patients. I was helped tremendously by carrying people along my journey. And this is why I'm here, so that I can bring awareness of not only hemophilia, but all other types of bleeding disorders, as well as bring awareness that women have also been affected by bleeding disorders. And with that awareness, I want to ensure that access to proper health care is always available for my fellow blood brothers and sisters, so that we can continue to be contributing members of society. Thank you very much for your time and listening to my story.
Thank you so much, Rigo. I truly appreciate it. Yay, great job. So just recapping, be brief, be memorable, but first and foremost, establish the rapport and make sure that you have an engaged audience because nothing about your story will matter if the person to whom you're speaking is not listening.
Exactly. Thank you, Janelle. So this was our kickoff, right? So we started off today with Janelle's tips and a little bit of example and practice. And then next week, we're going to get to go a little bit deeper and do a little bit more practice.